guys, we're back up in Michigan. Brian Wolf, the 7.3, and finally, what everybody wants to see, Supercharger. Brian, we made 790 horsepower naturally aspirated, and now we're going to give it the Whipple.
Yeah, exactly. So again, just to refresh everyone's memory, that's 790 horsepower. We've got the stock 7.3 truck block in it.
Right.
We've got the stock 7.3 truck crank in it. We've got the stock cylinder head castings that were heavily reworked by Visner engine development. So these are what they call the stage 3 heads. There's a 2 1/4 titanium intake, 1/700 titanium exhaust, shaft mounted Jessel rockers, Jessel keyed lifters, Charlie Westcott mechanical roller cam in it, stock chain timing system. We're hoping to get a belt drive system for this thing pretty soon. Stay tuned.
Right.
And then this engine was set up for a supercharger, so we have the Wiseco 12.5 to 1 pistons, MGP aluminum rods, and we made, as you said, 790 horsepower with that. So we're pretty pleased with that. But now we got the 3-liter Whipple on here.
This is what everybody's been waiting to see.
Yeah.
We keep getting comments on the page. When is it going to get the blur? Well, boom, here it is.
Yeah.
Boom!
With time, all good things happen. So Dustin really helped us out, sent us a supercharger. He also sent us this really cool bell mouth for it. We're running a 2.65 pulley on it, an 8-inch pulley down here on the damper, so we've got about a 3-to-1 ratio on the order of. And we'll see how this thing does. We also have the daily dry sump system on this as well, which I really believe is the best oiling system out there if you're going to use a dry sump. Nice short pan, it's only 1 3/4 inches below the deck of the block. Real easy to fit into cars. And again, everyone's asking when it's going to go in a car. As soon as it comes off the pump, it's going into the Black Mustang.
Right.
So, tell you what, let's go make some heat and see what kind of power we can make.
All right, let's fire this baby up and see what she'll do.
Okay.
All right, Brian, just made a couple of pulls and I'm going to take a look at a couple of plugs. What are you looking for?
I just want to make sure all the electrodes are there. I want to make sure there's no aluminum signs on the plug tip. And just take a quick look at them for my heat range. So these have been in there for quite a while, so I think we're just going to throw one more set in before we do the last pull.
But they look good though overall?
Overall, I don't see anything that scares me yet. Stock valve covers, stock coils. Feel like this, I got stock head gaskets on it too.
Oh, all right, you got to go right to work on that.
Yeah, going right into the...
All right, guys, this thing is mean. It sounded incredible. I mean, I forgot to bring my earplugs, and I was stuffing my fingers. I had them jammed in there. Brian, 1,450 horsepower?
Yeah, we made 1450 at about 7,900 RPM and about 1,030 foot-pounds of torque, which is good, and I was happy with that. We were only at about 16.5 pounds of boost.
Okay.
So we do need to get more boost. I mean, where we want to, the class we want to run in, be competitive in, and Ultra Street, you know, we're going to push, you know, closer to 1,700 plus, and that might take the 3.8 liter blower. This was a 3-liter Whipple blower, same displacement that's used on the Cobra Jet Mustang, same displacement that Whipple's offering a kit for the Super Duties. So I mean, it worked really good, and I'm happy with where we're at the 16.5 pounds boost. but we want to make some improvements from there. We don't want to stop.
So what was the target boost?
Well, I think we're going to have to get to about 20 to 21 pounds of boost to make the number.
And that should get you this over 16 or close to
Right around.
1,700 horsepower. Big numbers there. Still on gasoline, right?
Still in gasoline, yep. Still in VP gasoline, yep.
Okay, that's cool. And what's the next step, I guess? We made a couple of pulls. Like I said, I mean, just absolutely like a symphony of horsepower going on in there. It was unbelievable. And you said something that it's coming off the dyno next, right?
Yeah, next step from here. So as soon as we're done here, later this evening or tomorrow, motor's coming out, and it's going to be going into that black Fox body coupe.
Oh, wow. So maybe we'll get to check that out a little bit, too. We'll go over there to the other part of the shop and give you a look at the car. That might come in a video right after this one. But a couple quick questions, Brian. So just to reiterate, go through the motor again as far as like compression and how much of it is still factory Ford.
Yeah. So, it's got a factory block in it. It's got factory crankshaft. It's got factory cylinder head castings, factory valve covers, factory coils. So those parts are stock.
Right.
But again, where the power is coming from is obviously, the root of the power is the 3-liter Whipple blower.
Right.
That's what, is pushing there into it. But I think the reason that we're able to do the power we're making at fairly low levels of boost, I think people would say, is because we've got a really good set of cylinder heads on there that we worked on with Dave Visner.
Right.
So we have a 2 1/4 intake valve, a 1/700 exhaust valve. For reference to the folks, a stock is a 217 intake and a 167 exhaust. We have a fairly large mechanical roller camshaft that Charlie Westcott made for me. It has Jesel keyed lifters because it's a mechanical cam.
Right.
Trend push rods that are custom for it. And of course, Jesel shaft mounted rocker system that Dave designed the holders for the shafts, and then they're kind of off the shelf Jesel roller lifters from there.
Right. And then you're running a dyno header, but there'll be zoomies in a race car?
Exactly, a dyno header and zoomies in the race car.
Cool. Any other changes to the motor before you stuff it in the Fox body?
No other changes. We've got a couple other pieces coming, but we won't be able to run those on dyno first. Sometimes when I worked at Ford, I had a boss that used to say sometimes you got to shoot the engineer and go in production. In this case, sometimes you got to shoot the dyno operator and developer and put the engine in the car and see what happens.
Right.
So we've got some parts coming. We've got a new Innovators West damper coming. That's going to be a 9-inch instead of an 8-inch. I think we got to get that blower speed up if we're going to make the boost.
Oh, no doubt about it. I know what you're talking about. I've had motors that didn't blow my mind on the dyno, and they ran great in the car. And I've had motors in my stock eliminator car that I was salivating at the dyno numbers, and they didn't really perform that. It didn't really go that well in the car. Sometimes you just got to put it in there and get to the track.
We got to get a baseline and got to get going and see what it does. And then, obviously, like every other racer, then we got to figure out how to make it better.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, man, great start, though. I mean, put the supercharger on there, went from 700, almost doubled the horsepower, over 1,400 horsepower. It's going to be a fun ride. We got more coming. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, tell us what you think, and ask us any questions. Brian's really good about answering any of the questions on the page. He follows along with everything. So we appreciate everybody. More 7.3 stuff, Supercharged Godzilla, and we got more to come. So stay tuned.